Welcome to GameStuffed. I'm Josh,
And I'm Will.
and we're here to bring you probably our first, what I'm gonna like to call, kind of random podcast where we don't have anything scripted at all. We just have a few thoughts in mind, and we're gonna see where that leads to.
Yeah, we liked our first podcast when we did it, but I don't know. After a while, it just kind of seemed like after listening to it and stuff.
Well,
To me, it seemed a little too scripted.
well, originally it was about being informative, you know?
Yeah, that's
But
true.
at the time, we couldn't focus that much on. We didn't have the time to focus that much on one episode like we did with the first one, although I did think it turned out rather well.
Yeah, I think we had a lot of good facts in there. I don't know. I'm now gravitating more to the, natural. I don't know, this just feels more natural than just talking.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Anyways, so what have we been doing this week? Well, I finally got an upgrade to my computer, so that's what I've been working on for the past month since the start of the new year, practically.
Yeah, you've been buying parts like, I don't know, about every week or 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. We actually got to build it, and that was the first computer I've ever built, and I love computers, so that was awesome.
Yeah, it took us about 5 hours, but a lot of that was due to, on my casing, I bought some extra fans, and we had to re-switch around some of the fans, so that took a bit of time.
A lot of that 5 hours was just like decision making of should we put this here or here or here or here, you know?
Right.
But all in all, it was pretty fun, and we recorded putting it together, so we'll have that video up hopefully here soon. I'm not gonna make any promises, but there will be a video on it at some point. That's the promise.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, it was really fun. I mean, we kind of probably picked a bad time to do it because when we did it, it was like at 7 o'clock at night when we started, and by the time we was done with everything, when we actually got to the point where we tested by turning it on to see if it actually started, it was about 12:45 in the morning.
Yeah. And so I had to work that day. You did too. And I had been up since 4.
Yeah, but I didn't. Yeah, but I did not have. The next morning, I did not have to be up until like noon. You had
to be up at 4.
Yeah, you had to be up in like 3 hours after we was done building it.
Yeah. So it was a little bit of a bad time, I guess.
Just a little bit, but it felt worth it.
Yeah, it was fun. Well, for you, I'm sure it felt worth it.
Yeah.
You got a fancy new computer out of it. But yeah, that day I got up at 4. I worked, got off work at 1.
That's
came
right.
Home.
I got up early too that day, I think. Yeah. I had to be up at, I woke up at like 5:30 that day in the morning.
Oh, yeah. I know you get up at that time some days.
But up until that point, the computer I was using, I had it set up in the living room of where I live, so it made it kind of hard to record because sometimes people would either walk through the room at times, and I would have to quickly put a pause on the recording or something like that.
Yeah.
Or sometimes someone would want to like use the TV or something, and I couldn't really record whenever I wanted to.
Yeah. You said you moved it into your
Yeah, so when
yeah.
I set up the new computer, I forced some room out of my small bedroom that I have, and I was able to fit my desk in here, so yeah, I have a really like small bedroom, and it's just I'm surprised it worked out to where I have the desk set to where when like my closet door or the door to my room opens, it will not hit my desk
Yeah, but
or my
your
chair.
apartment's kind of small anyway for you and your roommate and having friends over and stuff.
Yeah.
I I remember in your apartment when you had like the couch and then like a futon right behind it facing in opposite directions,
Yes.
and you had your flat screen in front of the couch and then another TV in front of the futon, like right in your living room.
Yeah, that other TV was just like a tube TV, a 27-inch, I believe.
Yeah, but we had like two Xboxes hooked up.
Yeah.
Just oh man, that was great.
Yep, played some Halo 3 campaign,
Yeah.
and we was all in the same room.
That is completely true. Yeah.
I've actually gotten banned from online on Halo for like 2 weeks.
Really? How'd you manage that? What'd you do?
Basically, somehow Microsoft found out that we was trying to I don't want to use the word spam, but we was trying to get achievements in a not normal way. Like basically, we would set up I guess custom-made matches, and the way we did this was you need 8 players, so we didn't really have 8 controllers, but we had Rock Band controllers. So we had them hooked up as dummies, and we would try to get the achievements, and then I would say after about a couple hours of doing it, we got a message through Microsoft saying we had been banned for like a week or two.
That's awesome. What a creative use of Rock Band controllers.
I don't remember the achievements we were trying to get on Halo 3, but they were, I don't know.
Well, your roommate is like, oh man.
He's pretty good at video games, like, though he only picks out a few games where he will get the achievements 100%, though he normally tries to go for them all on everything he plays.
Yeah, like that's what I was gonna say. Like I remember being at your place when you got you bought you bought a PS3 and God of War 3. When I came over and we it was you, your roommate, one of your friends, and me. And you played completely through that. We watched you play it, and then I remember like before I passed out on the couch, you and your friend you started playing Gauntlet.
Yes.
And I was like half asleep, and I was like in there with you guys, and I remember your roommate coming out of his room and going, what are you guys doing? And you're like, oh, we're just playing through, what was it, like 100 levels or something of Gauntlet to get this achievement.
Yeah.
And he was like, alright, go ahead and log me in. And went back into bed. Like, went back to bed just to get the achievement. Like, that was... that I got a kick out of that, man. It was hilarious.
Yeah, some games, all you gotta do is be logged in with the person that's playing and you'll gain achievements.
Yeah, no, it was like constantly leaving himself logged in just for, in case you got like achievements or something, and it would roll over. But yeah.
So yeah, I'm very excited. Still trying to get all my programs and stuff on my new computer, but it's so exciting to be able to run a game without any worries of it not working usually.
Yeah. Yeah, with your last computer you had troubles with like Saints Row and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That'll open up a whole lot of new doors for content between us.
Yes. Plus, I mentioned this in the building a computer video, but I went overboard with RAM, so hopefully that will pay off in the end when it comes to video editing or video rendering in the video editor. Hopefully that will slim down the time quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it should. Yeah, that'll be nice.
It also looks pretty neat.
Oh man, that was like the biggest payoff when we completed it, was like plugging it in and turned it on, and then all of a sudden just the blue ambience just shined everywhere. That's great.
Right.
Yeah, it's a really really sleek looking computer. But yeah, it makes me envious. I can't wait to.
Well, at the very least, your computer you have right now,
yeah,
it's still pretty good. It's still got some life left in it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I don't know if the people on, that watched know. I don't know if I've said anything, but I just recently, January? It's been about a month. A month or 2 months. I got a MSI Dominator Pro GT72. And, cause my last laptop, the screen quit working. It was actually a motherboard problem, where my screen went dim. No lights. And, I tried fixing it, gave up, waited a while, got this, and it's got like a GTX 980M and 16 gigs of RAM, i7. It's a pretty decent laptop, but I mean it's still a laptop, so it's not gonna be extremely overkill. It's not gonna, definitely not outperforming your computer, but
well, like with the computer I had before, there was a lot of stuff it couldn't do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't have quite as big of a gap as I did when I upgraded.
No, I haven't found anything that well, my computer before this, my laptop, couldn't even do what your last computer could do. So that was a pretty big upgrade. But yeah, this can handle pretty much anything. I haven't found anything that this can't handle running like 50, 60 frames a second.
Right.
At the highest quality. So, I mean, that's. I hope I kind of want to do a showcase video on this because I'm actually really extremely happy with this laptop. I have heard I've seen some reviews and people had some gripes on it, but I just this is like the best laptop I think I've ever had, and honestly, a lot of people have that gripe with gaming laptops that they're heavy and stuff, and not very portable. Like this is like a mobile desktop kind of. I wouldn't call it a laptop,
Yeah.
and I'm perfectly fine with that. I get like a lot of the same performance, but I can take it with me, and it's not actually that heavy. Like a lot of people say it's really heavy. It's not actually. So,
Well, you gotta remember, different people have different
well,
perspectives on what they think is heavy and such like that. So it's probably
yeah.
just a matter of opinion.
I just this wouldn't this would be a laptop that I would take with me. Like I wouldn't have any problems just toting this thing around.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's great. And now with you getting that, we have a lot of opportunities to play some higher, more intensive games together. Should be able to.
Speaking of that, should we mention on some big event type thing that we might be planning sometime this year?
Sure.
Alright, I was thinking on this, like, before I even got this computer built. So, this comes from remembering what it was like playing games when I was younger and, like, was in school and stuff, and, like, you was all about that, staying up late just playing video games throughout all night without getting any sleep,
Oh
especially
yeah.
when it was the weekend.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, when you grow up, that tends to kind of go away.
Well,
Basically, kind of with you gaining more responsibility and stuff, you have a lot more you have to focus on.
yeah. Well, plus, I don't know, with online play, it changed it a lot
Yes.
with how we used to play. Like, I think the most fun I ever had gaming, even still in today, like the most fun is when we were playing something single player, sitting on a couch, passing controller every time we died
Yes.
for hours. That was like the best.
Yeah, somewhere in the Xbox generation, even before I got Xbox Live, I'm talking about the original Xbox. Um, or maybe I guess I should compare it more to the PS2 era. Sometime in that era, I don't know. I guess single players games kind of got more single player and less uh it became kind of less social, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that and games honestly got easier.
Yeah.
Without you didn't die as often, there wasn't as much risk, so it wasn't as much fun to play with someone. You just kind of ended up watching them play through the game,
Like you did God of War 3.
which that game was all right. That was like a movie. Come
Yeah.
on, that was awesome.
Yeah, but anyways, back to the point that I was trying to start. In order to try to get some of that feeling back, I see a lot of streamers, mainly people that are doing like donations and stuff. So they're doing like a 24-hour marathon of playing games or something for donations and such. Well, I don't know if we'll be streaming because we haven't really messed with too much in that area yet. But I do want to do like a 12-hour marathon of just playing random games we have bought.
Yeah. That we maybe like some maybe we have played, maybe some we mostly we didn't, you know.
Yeah, and just I wanted I want to just record like nonstop through this 12-hour marathon, give or take. Hope because I don't know where we will actually stop at if we do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was pretty much wanted to record it all raw and uncut, so there will probably be less talking in some areas, and maybe we might say something stupid in some areas.
Oh, come on.
But
that's a given.
It will not be edited out because we're keeping it full and plan to release it in parts on YouTube, like in hour segments.
Yeah. And, just something to bring us back to what we used to feel, and yeah, that'd be fun. It'll be a lot of fun when we do it, but it'll still be a little while before we even, come to doing something like that. But
yeah, when we do it, we're gonna have a face cam, and we would like to eventually try to get a better camera that actually does HD and not just upscales 720p or whatever it is.
It's not even 720. The camera that we've been using, it says HD. When we bought it, it was like HD, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend this camera because it's upscaled 480. It's not even, and it's only 720 HD, which looks upscaled. 480 looks terrible on a 1080p 1080 display, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why our videos have been all grainy. We got this camera thinking, oh, yeah, we'll get some HD. It's a nice little cheap camera, something to start out with. We'll get some HD video. Yeah, great. Oh, and the camera stops recording after 20 minutes. Starts recording a new file, like, I don't know, 5-10 seconds later,
now,
which is why we get some weird cuts.
Yeah, unlike Fraps or something that when it separates the video, it separates right on the mark. The camera does not separate on the mark. There's a 3 to 5 second delay that goes missing in between the separation of the recording.
Yeah, and there's not even a setting on it to stop that. It just that's how it records, and it's annoying.
Yeah, so we kind of want a camera where we can record unlimited.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That would be nice.
And since we'll have multiple cameras, if we need to switch out memory on one, we can start recording on another, and then,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just ideas we're throwing around.
It's just... Yeah, hopefully we can do that, and it'll be a lot of fun. We'll play a lot of games. We'll hopefully be entertaining.
Hey, at least we might be entertained. Maybe not the people that watch us.
Yeah, maybe not, but yeah. I'll be entertained. But yeah, moving on.
Yeah, so you recently uploaded a playthrough of Grow Home.
Yeah, I did. It was actually a really fun game.
I think. So, what are your thoughts on it? Like, do you have anything you would like to share about it?
it's a pretty cool game. I love the physics of the game. Like they work. It's a really good physics based game. Um, I know you were saying it came from like they were gonna make a engine out of it, and it turned into a game.
Yeah.
For the money, it was what was it like $8 or something like that?
Yeah,
When
$7.99.
yeah, when it first came out. I mean, I think that was worth it. Like it was worth what it took to get up to the top and exploring and stuff. Worth it.
You know, some people would say that a 3-hour game would not be worth even $7. But again, that comes to opinion wise.
Yeah, I think it all comes to if you're satisfied with it, you know? If you had a satisfying experience, how much is a movie nowadays, you know? A
That
movie is
Yeah, that's a lot of what people bring up is how much do you pay for a movie for only a couple hour enjoyment?
yeah, even if it's like the greatest movie, come on, you're still paying like 12, $13. So, I mean,
I
for
also wonder if the argument still holds up today about like how Mario can be beaten in like 10 minutes or so, the first Mario, but it's still being played today.
yeah, and it's still raved as like a really great game. Huh, yeah, I never thought of it that way.
So, games do not have to be long. In fact, games can be too long sometimes. And I will give you a perfect example of, at least recently, within the last couple generations of gaming. Um, Castlevania Lords of Shadow, the first one.
Oh, yeah.
That game seemed like it went on forever and ever.
Yeah, halfway through I kind of got bored.
So just because the game is longer does not mean it's
Oh,
better.
yeah. And I'm gonna bring up a game that I just downloaded. I've been playing this a lot this past week, right?
I think I know what it is.
Yeah, I showed it to you. Besiege.
Yeah.
It's just a sandbox creator. There's like no story. Not really. I mean, there's a few levels of just destroy this, right?
Yeah.
I played 11 hours of that game, and I have been thoroughly entertained. It was when I bought it, it was $7, right?
Right.
No story, nothing to keep like driving me on like a story-based game, nothing to drag it out. I have been entertained. You can build like siege engines and it's really physics-based. That's all I've been doing. Let's create a new machine. Let's see what this does. Hours of entertainment and I'm making the entertainment.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I'm sure there's a argument towards that people are having. Like, if I'm going to pay $7, they better entertain me. I paid $7, I'm entertaining myself, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of different types of games out there. I mean, what did, look with what Minecraft kind of started as.
Oh, yeah.
It was just kind of this open world sandbox thing. Like, did it even have a survival mode when it was in alpha?
No.
So it was just like the creative mode?
Pretty much, yeah. You didn't have like a health bar. I mean, you may have had a health bar. I don't think you had like a food bar.
No, you didn't have a food bar. I know that wasn't even there until after the release.
Over half of the stuff wasn't there. Like it was it was pretty yeah, pretty
But
bland, I
but
guess.
but still, people bought that up because of just being a creative type game.
Oh yeah, I I played it and it was great.
I didn't even know about it till you told me about it.
Yeah, I played it. It was great. I bought it and I haven't looked back since. It was a great buy for me. But yeah,
So, okay, with Grow Home, if you could just kind of think to yourself, like the main parts of the game, like the graphics, controls, um, the length, if there's the gameplay, if you could think to yourself for a moment and maybe out of a 1 out of 10, how would you rate that game as a review score?
hmm.
Like, I just thought maybe, or maybe you don't even have to just pick a estimate around a couple
Yeah.
numbers if you can't think of something exact that you know officially you want to give it.
Um, I gotta take into account it's a pretty cheap game. Granted, Steam sales are gonna happen, and it's probably gonna go even further down. And for the amount of enjoyment I had, um, I would still go play it again. It was that fun. Not a lot of story. It could use more like to it. Like it
Agreed.
honest, yeah, it kind of feels like it's not done yet. But I mean, it probably isn't. You know what I mean? This is probably like a test, kind of.
Um,
That's what I'm guessing. Since you said they were like they were trying to make an engine.
yeah, but I mean,
I just feel like they're probably going to use this engine.
yeah,
That
well, I think they might use it in more games, but I think the game Grow Home itself is done.
yeah, oh yeah, that's completely done. I just think it's like the game itself is kind of like a test for the engine a little bit.
Right.
Um, but all in all, I would probably give it like around a 6 or a 7.
Yeah,
Which, scoring, right?
yeah,
5 is like good. 5 is average.
yeah, supposed to be.
That's how I'm doing it. If a game is like a 4 or a 3, it might be bad, but it's still playable. It's still worth a play.
Yeah,
Like, a 6 or a 7, that's a pretty good game to me. 10 better be absolutely perfect. 9 better be outstanding. 8 still better be outstanding. 7 is like really good. And 6 is pretty good. I recommend it.
yeah. I can't really give it a review per se since I have not really played much of it from the 20-30 minutes I've had fiddled around in it. Like, I
Yeah.
can't speak much about the actual growing of the plant because when I played it, I was searching for everything down on the bottom before I made my way up the plant, and it just took up a lot of the time.
Oh yeah, I like
But from the controls alone I can speak of, they give you kind of a more immersive feel when moving around,
oh yeah,
I guess you could say.
it's a fantastic game to play. Like the feel of the game is superb. Um yeah, the climbing and stuff, it feels so natural. It's really good.
I think I would be comfortable on a, say, like a, giving it a 6, maybe not much more because I mean, I I'm not much against short games, but this kind of didn't have much to it to begin with, and
Yeah, it just needs like a little bit more. If it just had a little bit more, it would have bumped it up a little bit.
yeah, I don't think, me personally, I don't think I could give it a 7. I would think I would stick with 6.
Yeah. Honestly, I would bump this game up a whole lot if it had like a story to it. Like if it had like a I don't know, more detailed story, it would probably get a nice bump up.
Yeah,
Even if it still had the same basic gameplay of still climbing up to the top for, 3 hours.
right.
If it just had a little bit more of an immersive story, I'd be perfectly fine with it. But I'm a story person. I like my story in games.
Oh yeah, me too, except Fallout 3. Okay. I don't mean for all the people that really enjoy the game to come and hate on me, but kind of hear me out. It kind of bores me the setup of they have on how you uh get immersed in their world. And yeah, what I mean is I like my cutscenes, so I like to watch things epically playing out.
Yeah, I see
But
what you
with
mean.
Fallout 3, in order to get story, it's kind of goes old school where you gotta talk to everyone, and that's how you gain your backstory and stuff, is through people.
Yeah, there are no cutscenes. It's just all in game.
And to be honest, that kind of bores me. Like, I don't. Like, back in old school RPG era, that's all you had. I
Yeah.
mean, cutscenes were where the game would automatically take your character to move around, and that would be the cutscene.
Oh yeah.
Which I can deal with that because that's what I grew up on, but with the 3D, I kind of got spoiled, and now it's hard for me to play a game like Fallout or even I need to spend more time with Elder Scrolls, but I'm not sure if that's the game for me either.
Yeah, see, I got into Skyrim a lot.
I've never played Skyrim, so
Yeah.
I can't speak of that game.
I got into Skyrim pretty good. I beat it and I played through it. I started a second playthrough. I don't think I beat it the second time. Yeah, I got into that game a lot. I still want to play Fallout 3. Like, I feel I couldn't get into it before. Honestly, I'll be with you there. I couldn't. When it first came out or whatever, or a couple years ago, I wouldn't have been able to get into it.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't grip me at all. Now I'm getting a little different with games,
Right.
Like, it would probably grip me. I'm okay with more reading in games. I mean, I used to be like heavy into like FPSs and stuff.
Yeah.
And come on, let's be honest, there's no reading in an FPS. So I mean, I would get into it more, but yeah, I got into Skyrim pretty heavily.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Well, that's good.
Oh, I also wanted to bring up with like people bringing up the money situation, like cost versus like what you get out of the game. There was a free weekend last weekend on Steam for what was it? Space Engineers.
Yeah.
I played it.
Nice.
I did. I played it for 2 hours. Yeah, and that's a game that, as it stands right now, it has a lot to it, but it doesn't grip me, and I don't think it's worth the money for me personally. You know?
I see.
Yeah.
I looked into that game once, and then I realized my computer couldn't run it at the time.
Well, yeah, that. But the thing is, it's an early access game, right? So they're still adding stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it, but it is too bland, kind of, right?
Right.
Like, it just kind of throws you in there, and it threw me in, and it's just a sandbox. Like, you can do whatever you want. Well, I'm like, I started out, and I was like, what's this? What's this? What's this? And it uses the whole keyboard as controls, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how to do anything. So I spent an hour figuring out just how to do anything. Once I got to that point, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a want to do anything. Like, I don't know. In that game, it just didn't make me want to do it. Like, I like the game. I like the aspect of it. And I think with multiple people, it would be alright. But as a single player, I'm just like, I don't know what to do. You know? And for $25 that they're asking for the game,
Yeah.
I don't feel like I want to pay $25 to go, I don't know what to do, you know? So, that's a game that I really want to enjoy, and I really like the thing. It's just, I don't know. I'll have to see, like, if it gets more into it. Like, if it gets more and maybe has, like, challenges or something, or something to drive me to do something,
Yeah.
I might buy it because I like it, and the controls are actually pretty intuitive. I mean, it's like you're in a command module type thing, like using your keyboard and stuff.
Right.
It works really well, and yeah.
You just didn't know what to do?
Exactly. It had nothing to make me want to play it.
So it didn't grip you like Robot Roller Derby Disco Dodgeball.
Which I haven't played yet, but yes. I
actually want to try
amazing.
that just because of the ridiculous name.
I want that game too. Hopefully, okay. Yeah, you know what I want to do? I want to do a co-op play of this. I want to get us both like online, maybe in a match. Yeah. Robot Roller Derby Disco Dodgeball. That is the best name for a game. I mean, I didn't even know about it till you randomly, we were talking.
I just came across it and just...
Yeah, we were talking and you're just like, Robot Roller Derby Disco Dodgeball. And I was like, what? He was like, it's a game on Steam. I was like, I want to buy it. I don't even know what it is. I like the name. I want to buy it.
But,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. I actually do really want to play that. It looks like, I don't know, from watching the thing, it has the same feeling as Death Throw did.
Yeah.
For the original Xbox.
Well, what I think I compared some to it. The arenas or the layout of the levels kind of remind me of the Death Throw levels.
Yeah,
they do. They were simplistic and just had little areas where you could go up and down, and it was a lot of the times it was symmetrical.
Yeah. Mhm.
At least from what I saw from screenshots and what little gameplay I've seen.
Oh yeah, yeah. It does look. The levels look really nice, and honestly, just the gameplay looks nice too. Like, I don't know. I really enjoyed Death Row. Death Row was like simple, right?
Come on, Ubisoft. Get with the game and make the sequel.
Yeah. Make the sequel and make sure it's not broken. Come on, you can do this. I don't want to. I want to see the sequel, but I don't want to see people falling through the map. I mean, it was a low blow, but I had to say it.
Wow.
Yeah.
A sports game we hope for.
That's pretty rare, right?
I mean, outside of, if we're not talking about like extreme sports like skateboarding and stuff, then yeah, it's kind of unusual.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that brought. You just reminded me. Did you see? I saw it on Reddit when I was looking on Reddit. I'm gonna look it up now. Did you see the tweet, Tony Hawk?
Nope.
No. Oh, you're gonna love this.
I am?
Yeah, okay. He put out a tweet for I think it was on Valentine's Day. Oh. I'm trying to find the original tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put out a tweet, and it was on Valentine's Day. It was something like oh, come on, ad. I just had an ad pop up. I have ad block, but one slipped by it. I know we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Here's his tweet. A romantic poem for your Valentine's Day. Also, we're working on a new Tony Hawk's Pro Skater to be released this year. Roses are red, violets are blue, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
That's good. But the thing about Tony Hawk games lately is I miss the arcade style of it and less the open world explore of it.
Yeah. Who knows?
They tried to bring back like a HD remake of some of the levels and stuff in the HD Tony Hawk thing they released on Xbox Arcade and Steam and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But it was made through like a smaller company in Activision, I think.
Okay.
So the physics, it didn't feel exactly right like it did on Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 or 3.
Huh.
So I never played it, so I never bought it because of the reviews of it.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine it's kind of like the disappointment that, and I know that some people did like this game, so I am bashing it based on my personal opinion.
That's gonna go over really well on the internet.
Hey, I said it's my opinion, so.
Yeah, that never works.
Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Episode 1. I never played Episode 2, but it felt terrible to me. I mean, I know I'm not playing on a Sega Genesis controller, but Sonic did not feel fast whatsoever. the movements were not like fast, smooth. Like you could build up speed, but there were little gameplay elements like I think when you started to spin dash or something, it would slow down your speed completely and you would just kind of stop in an awkward kind of stop.
Oh, really?
And it messed up the gameplay for me, and I just wished it felt like the Sega Genesis days, honestly. And I don't know why. I mean, I guess it's because they don't have the source code to the older games anymore. Or, well, that. Oh.
No, they could still.
Well, I guess they have to have the source code if they're emulating it to re-release their old games on Xbox Arcade and stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe add in like all these high-end graphics and stuff kinda, I guess they haven't figured out how to work around. But I don't know, or maybe just Sega is being lazy. I really don't know.
Oh, probably. Did you see some of the Sonic games they've released?
I know Sonic has not been Sonic since, I am gonna say, since Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah.
And some of you will only say since Sonic Adventure, and some of you old school gamers will say he hasn't been Sonic since the Sega Genesis days. But the reason why I say Sonic Adventure 2, I had fun with that game.
Yeah.
I don't know. But like I said, it's my opinion, so. But yeah.
So everyone's gonna hate you for it. But yeah. I see what you're coming with. I mean, yeah. I see where you're coming from.
So, I'm gonna try to dive into something else here.
Alright.
Even though we kind of just been going random on different stuff anyways, but I don't know. I'm just trying to find an opening.
Sounds good to me.
So, you think any games are kind of doing anything worthwhile that's changing gaming?
That's changing gaming?
Like, I can never think of the word. It starts with an I.
Indie?
No.
Oh.
Actually, it might not even start with an I because now I'm having trouble just thinking of the word. But the word for reinventing gaming aspects.
You know what seems to be becoming more popular and being more prevalent?
What?
I don't know if I don't have current gen consoles, so I don't know if what they're doing different. If they are doing anything different, other than like always online, you know. But early access seems to be a whole lot more prevalent now than it used to.
Right.
I think for the good and the bad.
Yeah, I've heard sides from both stories, I heard from both sides of the thing.
Yeah, the spectrum. The best thing that you can say about early access is you're not buying the game, you know?
Yeah, you're investing.
Yeah, that's what it is. And I know a lot of people get upset when they pay money for something that they think looks cool, you know?
But it's broken.
But it turns out broken, or they don't finish it, you know?
Yeah.
It's early access. It's not done.
Right.
If you are upset, you know, and you don't want to waste your money on something that you don't know, then don't buy it. Wait till it's done. If
Yeah.
it gets done.
I think I wouldn't be so broken up if the game was broken in early access. But if the developer just stops working on it, I would be a little bit upset. probably a bit mad towards the developer.
Yeah.
Because
because you spent money on something that, well, now they decided I don't want to work on it anymore. You know?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Going back to that Besiege game that I've played last week. That game is alpha, right?
Yeah.
It's in its alpha state, and it is nowhere near done. And for $7, I think it's worth it right now. Even in its alpha state.
You got okay. There's only like, I'm gonna say, a handful of games maybe that are in early access that might feel already like a complete game, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Like one of the others being, I would say, Prison Architect is up there.
Oh, yeah.
Not only in the game alone, but they update once a month with the big patch that either changes the gameplay or fixes bugs or reinvents an idea they already had and develops it into either a deeper or more better way of execution for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Although they still have a way to make a execution room on Prison Architect, but it does nothing still.
Oh, nice. Interesting. Yeah, early access, like, some games I feel it's definitely worth it, you know?
Yeah.
Some developers, like the Prison Architect developers, the developers of Besiege, even other games, the developers like listen, you know?
Yeah.
And in early access, that's what I would do. If I were making a game, I'd put it out in early access too.
Right.
Because to me, it would make me feel like I want to work on it more. And a lot of the great things about early access is people can have input on it, you know?
Right.
Like, people were, I guess, asking for more parts or for different parts in that Besiege. And in the 2 days that I owned the game, it got updated once and added more parts.
Yeah.
That people were asking for.
Yeah.
I mean, early access can be a great tool when it's used right, but like, let's see, like DayZ.
Yeah.
When when it was just broken, and it was broken and it didn't get fixed, and then the whole thing just kind of ended.
Right.
That, I mean, you got to be wary of the consequences when you buy into early access.
Yeah. Now, speaking of early access, well, not something that goes along the lines with developing games to get developed. What is your situation on Kickstarter?
Oh yeah.
Or what do you think about Kickstarter as far as it being a complete investment into something that may or may not happen?
Yeah, it may or may not happen, and you don't get anything to to base your purchase on, you know?
Right.
Early access, even if it is a broken game, you get to base your purchase on being able to play it.
Yeah,
Huh.
however, I will say this. If a game has the fan base, then they should do a Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah.
That's how Dreamfall Chapters got made.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they left the Dreamfall: The Longest Journey, a game that came out in I think 2002. I think somewhere around there. It came on the original Xbox and PC. Anyways, that game ended with a major cliffhanger, and everyone was wondering, where's the third game? Where's the third game? Then, like 2 or 3 years ago, they posted Kickstarter.
Nice.
And now here this last November, they're releasing episodic 5 parts. They released the first episode last November for Dreamfall Chapters.
Nice.
So I'm kind of excited for that now that I can actually play it.
Yeah, Kickstarter's alright. Like, I don't know if it's the greatest place for gaming.
I would say Kickstarter is good if you're already an established developer.
Yeah.
But indie to small developer team shouldn't do Kickstarter. Because because they probably will not get the money they are looking for.
Yeah. I see what you mean, and it's just kind of like false hope for the people who want to see it done.
Yeah.
I can see where you're coming from with that one.
Like another instance with Dreamfall, it already had a fan base of that series. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, yeah. Speaking of game development and stuff, I think I have kind of one of my many ideas that I like to share if I was to ever even think attempting on making a game. So, it probably sounds better on paper than what it would in actuality, but let's go ahead and discuss it and see what comes of it.
Alright.
Alright, so basically, this is kind of, I guess the word would be ironic in a way because I don't play survival horror games.
Uh-huh.
But I love co-op games.
Yeah, me too.
So, I don't know. The idea came to me just a few years ago, just popped right in my head, and I mean, it's still there, but I guess I'm gonna try to attempt to explain a way maybe to keep co-op in a Resident Evil-like game, but still make the fans of like actual survival horror happy.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing that you get with co-op is it makes the game less intensive. Is that the
Yeah,
right word?
I see what you mean with that. Yeah, it's because yeah,
it makes it kind of less psychological because you know someone's there.
yeah,
However, what if like we can make games nowadays like Grand Theft Auto 5 multiplayer in a big open world free roam, right?
mm-hmm.
Now, um, okay, I won't mention that quite yet, but I'll bring up a comparison later. But what if, let's see, just kind of imagine. Okay, let's take the Resident Evil 1 mansion for instance. Make it this big, huge mansion. Kind of make the multiplayer aspect where just have a cutscene at the beginning to show how, I don't know, everyone came together, or maybe have a few small play sections of people meeting up, and then they goes to a cutscene to where they are checking out this mansion or whatever. And I'm just kind of throwing stuff out there, so the story I'm throwing out is not going to make sense whatsoever. I'm just trying to lead to a point of what I'm trying to explain the game would be like. But so they meet up and they go investigate this mansion, but let's say it's going to be however many player co-op is not relevant. It could be as many as you really want, but the premise is they split up, and so you have to make your way through this mansion or whatever area in an old school Resident Evil type way where you gotta find clues and stuff. And maybe in order to get some of the clues, you have to intersect with the other character in a specific room. Like maybe one character will be down on the bottom floor in a library, and another character will be on the balcony in the library. And if you meet up there, maybe this character on the balcony library has the key that the guy on the bottom floor needs to progress. So you would toss down the key to the guy on the bottom floor.
Oh, nice.
And it would kind of work kind of like that. You would have to work with your teammate while still going through this big place on your own, kind of, because I don't know, the ideal way of I'm thinking of it they wouldn't meet up till the very end.
Kind of like, I would say like Portal 2 multiplayer, where you have a certain role in the map.
Right. I mean, there's plenty of things they could do with it, like everyone can have their own personal reason why they're there and maybe develop their own story, or whatever you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think if I don't know. I think if Resident Evil did it that way, it would be kind of cool. Because
Yeah, it would.
you can do massive multiplayer games now on consoles in a big free roam area, so
Yeah.
just get creative with your puzzles, get creative where the characters can intersect without actually being able to continue on with each other. Make it able to where they would have to like think things out on a bigger picture in order to get all the co-op characters to work well with each other and to be able to find the right items to then somehow give to the other characters in some way. And that's kind of the premise of my idea.
That is a pretty cool idea.
Because despite not being good at it, I like the old school survival horror puzzle aspects.
Yeah.
Not so much the combat. But another idea that could also, I'm not sure if this could be implemented, but I'm sure some way it can. Treat the headset like you speaking with your co-op members online. Treat the headset like a walkie-talkie. Like you gotta keep it on mute, then when you want to say something to a character, you turn on and start talking. But let's say the more you talk on the microphone, the more you make...
It's kind of like
the more you make the enemies around you aware of where you are.
Yeah, kind of like heat maps in like multiplayer games or like massively multiplayer games, like with like the zombies. Like the more you're in one area, the more the heat map gets brighter and more enemies see that you're there.
Yeah, well, I just think it would be kind of cool. Take a normal aspect like chatting and turn it into something that can hurt you.
And that would keep suspense up.
Yeah, and it would get you more into the character you're playing as, kind of, I think.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty awesome.
Because you would have to think, like, you would only have to speak where, like, because you would have to let your friends know at some point, like, if you need to, like, someone might ask if they have a key to the bedroom number 1 on the top floor or something dumb like that, and if someone has it, they would reply, and then they would have to decide where they could come in contact with each other at.
Yeah, that would be cool to
I mean, I also would see it as maybe like a $30-$40 game, maybe.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, depends how big they make it. And depends. There would definitely need to be certain boss battles.
Yeah.
But, I'm not sure. I mean, it could potentially have replay value in a way. Say it might be 4-player co-op, as in there would be 4 players. You would go through this mansion, like each player would kind of have their own scenario to play through, because they could only go through this mansion in certain parts and at certain times.
Hmm. That'd be interesting.
Because, like I said, no one will ever meet up at once, and if you have 4 different starting points and you all have the same ending point, the way to get to that ending will be different for the 4 different people.
Yeah.
Now, would Capcom ever do this for Resident Evil? I don't think at this point they really have. Well, I mean, financially they have a lot to lose, but Resident Evil, like fan base wise, I don't think they really have a whole lot to lose at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They really took a different turn in the game, didn't they?
Like, I hear it all the time. Everybody wants the old survival horror back.
Yeah.
They briefly touched upon it in Resident Evil Revelations. But I don't know. I just think it would be cool to have a true co-op Resident Evil-like game.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Or, I don't know, it doesn't even have to be Resident Evil. Just a nice survival horror co-op game. Yeah.
That's why I said type game.
Yeah.
There... And, like, Castlevania Harmony of Despair, which was the arcade game, or released on Xbox Arcade and PS4. It was a small game. It was a multiplayer. It was made for multiplayer game.
Mm-hmm.
But so people started in different parts of the map, and you went through the map to all get to the same goal. So I guess it's kind of that concept, but on a bigger scale. And I don't envision it in 2D.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be, I don't know, the best survival horror games are in 3D. Like, it's just more atmospheric, you know?
Like, the only other survival horror game that I can think is co-op is the Obscure series, which co-op kind of gets ruined by the camera.
Mm-hmm.
It
does.
Which is why I am envisioning this as as a online only multi co-op game.
Oh yeah. I can see that. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Like I don't think there would be a way you could do it local co-op.
No, I don't. You wouldn't be able to have the same.
You wouldn't have the same suspenseful journey.
No, you wouldn't.
Anyways, that was pretty much my simplistic main ideas of how I would like to see a survival horror game be made.
It would be. I think that would be a lot of fun. Like it would definitely be suspenseful. It would bring a whole new level of suspense to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I agree with you.
I mean, yeah, that's one of the main complaints about co-op survival horror games is they're not scary.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they don't really, like you said, co-op kind of, that's what makes it not scary is the co-op aspect.
Could you imagine getting attacked by an enemy or something, and maybe like you could scream out to your friends all you want, but they can't come and help you.
Yeah. Or the more
Oh my gosh, how would that
scream out, like just
how would the deaths work? Like, would everyone start back at a certain checkpoint or what?
oh, that would be yeah. Huh.
Huh. Maybe maybe everyone could really go old school and everyone can find their own, like, I'm just gonna say like typewriter keys, because that's what they use for save points in the old Resident Evil games.
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna, but they could find like the save point, so many save point islands. Like on Obscure, you can only find so many CDs, and that's what you use to save at a point.
Yeah.
And maybe when someone dies, everyone returns to the last save point. So that could add another suspenseful level right there.
I don't know. I think it would be maybe more. Yeah, that could add more suspense, I guess. Thinking maybe have some sort of game mechanic in there, some story aspect to it, right?
Yeah.
That kind of explains how death works, like when you first die, like maybe you don't like really die or something, you know? But like something just happens, or maybe it's like you black out or something. But I think like death would work better on like a separate level per player. Like playing co-op if you're like in one area by yourself or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Like that person would continue on, the person that didn't die or whatever, but the person who did die would, I don't know, get like maybe transported somewhere else or somewhere they don't know or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like in that level, and the story would explain it, but maybe when that happens, like maybe you don't have your stuff anymore, like now you don't have your walkie-talkie and now you can't communicate. You know what I mean?
Unless you go and find where you died at.
Yeah, or like find your stuff, and you know what I mean?
Right.
I think that would add a lot more suspense too.
Or maybe there's just walkie-talkies lying around somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you can like find stuff to make one or something, you know? Yeah, I think that would be awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because then it adds suspense on the person who didn't die. It adds suspense on the person who did die, but it adds more suspense on the person who didn't die because now they don't have anyone to talk to.
Right.
And now they don't have anyone to help them. They don't know if they have anyone to help them anymore, you know?
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
I wonder how the whole using the chat as a game mechanic would flow over people.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it sounds like an awesome. No game seems to do that, you know?
Like as far as taking like something as simple as communication chat, which is a normal function for everything now.
Yeah.
You know what people would do?
Oh, what's that?
They would end up just chatting on Skype.
Probably, but
I mean,
But I mean, for the true game experience, you know?
Yeah.
That is what would happen. But there'd be people out there that would do the, you know, honestly, any game, you know, people are gonna cheat somehow.
Yeah.
So, might as well just let them cheat, and then the ones that want to play it right, you know.
Oh, man.
Oh, play it right. That's like the wrongest term for video games, because if you're enjoying yourself, you're playing the game right, you know?
Right. Play.
No...
How about the term play it the way it was meant to be played?
There you go. Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, I guess I shouldn't get too hopeful, because this is probably never gonna see the light of day.
No, but it's a cool concept. It really is a cool concept.
Who knows? Maybe someone will see this on YouTube and I don't know. Maybe they'll work at Capcom or somewhere.
That's more hopeful than us making it. Let's be realistic here. You're even assuming that anyone's gonna see this. Come on.
Yeah, assuming someone watched an hour and 26 minutes into this. But, yeah.
That's pretty funny.
So what about you? What? Anything interested on your mind?
Yeah, I don't know. Not really. To be honest, I don't have really any ideas for like a game or anything.
Really?
I like your idea. Like, I really do. I like that idea. Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, interesting. I don't really have any ideas. I've wanted to make a game, but you know what stops me in my tracks?
Everything else.
The idea. I'm like, I want to make a game. What game am I gonna make? That idea's out of the, that idea's gone. Let's just move on. What are we gonna do now?
Yeah.
So.
I sent an idea for a game to Nintendo once.
Oh, did you? Wait, I think I remember you telling me, but I don't remember what it was.
I basically sent them a thing saying they should make like something like Kingdom Hearts, but with Nintendo characters.
Oh, that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, so how our podcast ended.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially one as random as this.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, actually. I found this a lot more fun. I think we got better better conversation than we did. We had more conversation. We had conversation. How about that?
Well, it's easy to get conversation when you got really nothing. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, it was nice. I wanted to say something real quick. Just because I was searching through Kotaku while we were talking. And yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy passed away. So that's kind of sad.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he was 83.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't know he was 83. But yeah, Mr. Spock,
Yeah.
I guess, had a really big, talking about a person who had such a prevalence in geek culture and stuff and nerdy culture.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of sad to hear.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to bring that up, say that, and yeah, interesting. But yeah, to end it on a sad note, I guess.
That's a great way to end it. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know, it's just something I felt like,
Yeah. I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know either until I looked on here. I would have thought his death would have been more prevalent on the internet
Yeah.
than it I guess has been. Huh. But yeah, that's sad to hear. And well, R.I.P. and I pay my respects, I guess,
Yeah.
to a staple in early television.
Yeah.
Earlier mass populated television, I guess. An actor who did really good, who had a lot of skill.
Yeah. Should leave it at that.
That's what I was thinking. But yeah, hope to do more of these podcasts.
So what do you think you're gonna play next? What can we look forward to seeing from you?
I just bought Overlord.
Ah.
I bought the Overlord 1, 2, and the DLC or whatever that was. They were really cheap on Steam, and if anyone who knows me, or I've probably said it a lot, I'm cheap and I'm thrifty, and I don't really buy anything if it's not on sale or cheaper than $10. So I bought it for $5. And
Yeah.
I started playing the first one, and I think I'm going to record it, and it was actually really fun, so.
I am undecided still, kind of what I'm gonna do, but I'm leaning towards maybe playing Dreamfall Chapters.
Oh, nice.
I started it last night. I liked what I saw, and the characters I like the characters really well, so it's
nice.
It kind of gives it more interesting things to comment about when playing it.
Ah, I see.
Now, if I wanted to do things like in actual order, I would play Dreamfall The Longest Journey first. But I think I'm going to play Dreamfall Chapters Episode 1 first, because I'm excited to play that, and so I guess I'm would be doing it for myself.
That's what you gotta do, I mean, come on.
But then maybe somewhere in between the release of episode 1 and 2, or I might start playing Dreamfall The Longest Journey to play the first part of
To kind of
the character's story.
Yeah, to get all the story of it.
Then maybe if I don't make it through all the way before episode 2 release, I'll play episode 2, release that, and then in between episode 2 and 3, I'll play more of Dreamfall The Longest Journey.
Oh, that's a good schedule.
Yeah, but we know how we keep to schedules.
Yeah, that's true.
Like never.
Yeah. So very true. And maybe here soon we'll play Robot Roller Derby Disco Dodgeball.
Not to mention the other co-op thing we need to put together that we recorded already.
What was that?
Minecraft.
Oh yeah. I have the worst memory.
Yeah. GameStuffed went there. We're doing Minecraft.
And that was actually a lot of fun. But yeah. Hopefully we can get that out soon. That stuff out soon.
Yep.
And
this has been a GameStuffed podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever it is you do.
yeah, I like that one. This will be up on YouTube, and I'm gonna try and get this up on like SoundCloud too.
I don't know what that is, but cool.
So, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully we'll do more. Let us know if you liked it. And see you guys next time.